Hello, I'm Game Retainer, and in this video I'll be going over some of the rarest items you can find in 7 Days to Die. Now, a quick disclaimer before going into this one. I'm basing this off my experience, off various other players' experiences, stories that I found on Reddit, in-game files, all sorts of stuff. There are a couple of entries on the list where I'm sure some of you might think, oh, I got that on day 5 or 6 or whatever, and that's great. For the most part, the items that I'm featuring on this list are among the hardest ones to come by. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's jump straight in. I'm in the snow biome for the first entry, and it's not because these items can be found here, it's because of their festive theme. They are the candy cane club and the candy cane knife. Initially, I wasn't sure whether to include these on the list because I could only find these in console commands. Until yesterday. I was doing a treasure map mission and I actually found, I believe it was the knife, inside the chest. I'll put a picture on the screen now so you can see. I am not sure if these are available all year round. I've read things online, some of them say it's only available in the festive period, some of them say that it's available all the time. I honestly, I don't have a clue, so if anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. But the Candy Cane Club, these weapons, they're nothing too special, but they look awesome, so definitely keep them if you can find them. I'm not sure what weapon this one is based off. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the regular baseball bat, because as you can see, stats-wise, it's the most similar. There's really not any difference between the two. As for the candy cane knife, that is, I believe, a model of the hunting knife. However, there is a little tiny difference. It's slightly more powerful, but barely. But still, being able to take down zombies by using a candy cane is just quite amazing, really. The next item on the list is the recipe to craft sham. This is a bit of a tricky one because I don't actually have a definitive answer on how to get this. If I remember rightly, you used to be able to get this as, I believe, a guaranteed reward or guaranteed loot for clearing through this Shamway factory, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I have seen lots of people on Reddit talk about how they found it inside a loot container randomly, how they bought it from the traders, how they found it as a reward, all sorts of stuff. I don't usually have that much of an issue getting it, but I have seen lots of other players complaining about how they just can never find this. And the reason why it's so good is if you look at a can of sham, while it may not look appetizing, it is incredibly cheap and easy to craft, and you can also use it to make some tasty sham chowder, which it's not the best food, but definitely beats a can of sham. This next entry is probably going to get a few people annoyed, but still, I'm going by the stats in the game for this. Vitamins. And I'm British, that is how you say vitamins. Anybody who pronounces it otherwise is just incorrect, okay? It's vitamins, end of discussion. Now, vitamins can be used to craft a few things, but they're not really important. The important things about vitamins is it offers a cure for fatigue and a disease resist ability for 12 minutes. Unlike things like antibiotics, which we can look up here, you can see they can be crafted. Vitamins can't. And they are considered a rare loot item. There is a good chance that you'll find them inside pop and pills crates or any sort of medicinal shelf. Also, I believe Trader Jen has a relatively higher chance than the other traders in the game to stock vitamins. You will get quite a lot of these as the game goes on, but I would highly recommend hanging on to all of them because you can't craft them or anything like that, which it does technically make them rare, although I understand if you're disappointed since the first entry was a freaking candy cane that you can kill zombies with, so apologies for that. The next entry on the list is a bit of a shaky one because I honestly have no idea whether you can still get this in the game. I haven't found it, not since the release of 1.0, and that is Taza's Stone Axe, or Taza, I don't know how to pronounce it, please forgive me. When compared to the regular Stone Axe, it's slightly more powerful, does less block damage, and it's more costly in terms of stamina, and it has a little bit more durability. It's not fantastic. I have seen reports of people finding this axe in various loot containers during the late stages of the game. It used to be able to be found right here. If you don't know where I am, I'll show you here if I open up the portal. It's the Taza burial grounds. Under the ground, there's a chest, and I believe there's a chance for it to spawn in here. I know it's not guaranteed, as you can see it wasn't in there. I had to spawn mine in via the creative menu. If anybody does have any ideas on how to get this, or how to increase the chances of getting this, or even if you can get this in the game. I've heard both stories that you can and that you can't, so I have no clue. But anyway, it's rare or possibly non-existent, so maybe this is a cheat entry. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I've put on my lovely miner's hat for this next entry because we're in a cave. And that's because the next rare thing, they're gems. There are 3 different gems or rare metals that you can find. Silver, gold, diamond. Unfortunately, you can't start finding them until you've read Art of Mining Volume 1. And even then, note what it says here, adds a small chance to find rare gems from ore. So, also note it says ore. I don't think you can find it if you're digging around in the dirt or stone. So, yeah, that's an important thing to note. Since this is tied to this challenge here, I suppose technically it makes this the rarest or most difficult challenge to complete. And in fact, I wonder how many players have actually completed this. Let me know if you have. I've come close, but I don't think I've quite made it to the end. You can and will get these as you mine after reading that. However, you can also read Wasteland Treasures Volume 2, which gives you the ability to harvest coffins for bones, jewelry, and precious gems. In my experience, the chance of getting those gems is still pretty low. If you've had a different experience to me, let me know in the comment section below. Now, to the next entry. Smooth walk away. I'm still here. There we go. We're going to stick with the mining theme a little bit longer. And this one makes a lot of sense because, well, you need diamonds to craft them. In fact, I believe it's the only item in the game that requires diamonds to craft. This is the Diamond Blade Tip mod. Not only do you need 3 diamonds to craft it, or I think it's 3. Let me just double check that. It is indeed 3. You also need to have read the Art of Mining Volume 2 to craft the thing in the first place, and then obviously the Art of Mining Volume 1 to be able to find gems. So when you put all those together, it makes this probably the rarest mod in the game. I'm standing with Trader Bob for the next entry, not because he has anything to do with it, but because I was lonely and I wanted to hold somebody's hand. Next on the list, we've got the triple and quad pocket armor mod schematics. I've seen not only on forums but in my own experience, especially this quad one is super rare to find. Now, when you reach a high loot stage, you'll eventually come across it. But I've had playthroughs where I've gone well over day 100 and still not found this. I have still found a bunch of quad pocket mods, and these are rare, they're still quite rare mods, but the schematics are just a real pain to find. I'm not sure if investing points into any of the armor perks makes a difference. Maybe I'll do some testing, or maybe somebody knows, but yeah. Triple and quad pocket mod schematics. Not easy to get. I'm going to finish this list with an entry that is both vague and I'm sure everybody who's ever played this game will identify with. And that is that one damn schematic or book. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what perks you find, who your mum is, nothing matters. There will always be one book during your playthrough that you don't get until crazy late in the game. For me, and I don't know why, it always seems to be Urban Combat Volume 5. Maybe it's because it's one of my favourite books because I love exploring through the wasteland at night, but I just notice that in most of my playthroughs, this is one of the last books I find. So yeah, that about does it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.